The Eighth Amendment, bail. You have the right to a reasonable bail. Bail is meant to secure your next appearance at court. Okay? It's not meant to punish. We got to remember that. These judges sometimes get a little out of control. Okay? And the Ninth Amendment, the Ninth Amendment, it says specifically that this Bill of Rights is not an exhaustive list of our rights. And that was the big deal when they were trying to pass the Bill of Rights. Initially, the Founding Fathers said, we don't need a Bill of Rights. And the reason we don't need a Bill of Rights is the federal government has only that power which is granted to it in the Constitution. Anything else is reserved to us, the people. So they said, we don't need a Bill of Rights. And if we give a Bill of Rights, if we enumerate specific rights, somebody is later going to say, those are the only rights you're entitled to because those are the only ones listed. And if you don't list every single right you're entitled to, you're not entitled to it. Well, the Ninth Amendment says that's not true. These are not the only rights you're entitled to. These are just some of the rights you're entitled to. And then the 10th Amendment. The 10th Amendment is absolutely the cornerstone of liberty. Okay? It says the powers not delegated by the Constitution to the United States, nor prohibited by it, are reserved to the states or the people respectively. Where are those powers and rights here? Yeah. We fell asleep at the switch. As a nation, we fell asleep at the switch. And I'm going to quote here the founder of liberty, of justice, of moral righteousness. In Matthew 13:25, Jesus told Matthew a story, a parable. And he said, while good men slept, evil men came in and sowed weeds, tares. Okay? But Jesus didn't hold the bad men, the evil men that sowed those weeds to ruin the crop accountable. No. He held the good men who slept accountable, saying, you slept and you let evil take what was yours because you slept. And that's where we are today. We're asleep. We're not paying attention. And while we're asleep, Mr. Obama, who I refuse to call president because he didn't constitutionally qualify, right? And Nancy Pelosi, and all of those people, Miss Clinton, what they have done is while we were sleeping, they took our rights. Okay? Article 1, Section 8 says, the Commerce Clause. Congress has the right to impact interstate commerce. They have now, the courts have now interpreted that in such a broad fashion that there is no difference. There is no distinction between inter and intrastate commerce. Congress has usurped our rights within our own state borders because we've been asleep. And while we were asleep, the Supreme Court said, oh yeah, by the way, it's okay to kill millions of babies in their mother's womb. That's okay. We as a society approve that. And we as a society say, no, you can't worship any kind of religion in public, and you got to take the 10 Commandments down from the courthouse. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The 10 Commandments are the basis for the Constitution, for our form of government. Okay? Our Founding Fathers said, we gave you a government that's a republic. Now let's see if you can keep it. And they went on to say, many of them in many different words, this form of government will only govern a moral people. It will be effective for no other. And I would suggest to you collectively, that's why our government's failing. We're not putting righteous men and women in office to lead us. And I want to close with something very powerful. The very last sentence of the Declaration of Independence. I need to find it to get me a little help here. Because I wrote it out word for word so that I could share it with you correctly.
Get your teleprompter next time.
That's right.
He's doing better than Obama could.
Got two stuck with you. There we go. All right, the very last sentence in the Declaration of Independence, to me, is the most powerful statement that our founding fathers made. And for support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Okay? Our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Now, they clearly acknowledged God when they said, and with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence. Divine providence. Were they talking about Bill Clinton? Not so much. Were they talking about Mr. Obama? Not so much. Okay, we know what they were talking about. Divine providence. And we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. How many of you out there today with me will pledge their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to reclaim what is ours?